What's up, knuckleheads? I'm about to show my age here to premise this chapter of What Were They Thinking? Haven't you heard that song by Loverboy? Pig and elephant DNA just won't splice. Too soon? Anyway, you know what else doesn't splice? Innocent childhood cartoons and slasher horror movies. But obviously, that's been attempted because here we are. Let's talk about this shitty amalgamation. Let's start with Blood and Honey. It opens up with a cartoon montage with narration about a boy named Christopher Robin discovering and joining a friend group of talking animals. This is not like the cartoon where he's got an imaginary relationship with his plushies. He's finding talking animals deep in an enchanted forest. So, am I making sense yet? Anyway, they become dependent on his generosity and companionship. So when he grows up and leaves for college, shit goes sideways. They don't know what to do for sustenance and socialization, so the now grown up and savage Winnie the Pooh and Piglet ate Eeyore. And then later on, Christopher returns to his childhood home with his fiancée, and everything goes from bad to worse. Winnie and Piglet take him hostage and kill his fiancée. And what's really ludicrous is listening to him blubbering for his silly old bear to remember who he was while being flogged with Eeyore's tail. At the same time, guess what predictable slasher film trope pops up? You guessed it. All these stupid tarts show up for a vacation retreat at this house in the woods, and Winnie and Piglet pick them off one by one in sadistic ways. At the end of it all, evil Winnie couldn't be killed, not even by a bunch of rednecks, which leaves us open to a sequel. Throughout it all, the costumes are absurd and the special effects are campy, yet this isn't a black comedy. It takes itself seriously as a horror movie. Next, let's tackle Mickey's Mousetrap. So, they bastardized Winnie the Pooh in the aforementioned one. Now they are bastardizing Mickey Mouse. Only this one is satirical to a small degree. It starts with a space scroll, kind of like Star Wars and Spaceballs, that makes it very clear that the Mousetrap has no affiliation with Disney or with Star Wars since they're using a space scroll. And it's a long space scroll, because after that fourth paragraph and it's still going, and you find yourself thinking, okay, get on with it already. And eventually they do. It starts with Rebecca in jail answering questions from good cop and douchebag cop who has this smug looking face that just begs to be slapped. She is the sole survivor of a birthday party massacre, and the movie cuts to said birthday party. It is Alex's 21st birthday, and her friends gather around her at the game complex where she works to celebrate. Unfortunately, one of her friends from the local hockey team is present, and the rest of the hockey team is planning to stir up some trouble for him at her party. But for no good reason, someone wearing a hockey team jersey and a Mickey Mouse mask crashes the party and goes around killing people. It doesn't take the gang long to figure this out, and it doesn't take Alex long to figure out that this Mickey Mouse's weakness. It's his ability to teleport that is hindered by a strobe light, and in a game complex, a strobe light is everywhere. So, just as they have him cornered, he disables the strobe lights and makes one last teleport to decapitate Alex. Then the movie leaves us hanging very abruptly by cutting right to the credit roll. And according to the IMDb synopsis, a post-credit scene shows Mickey Mouse appearing at the jail to break Rebecca out, making it clear that she was complicit. Those are the only two I could tolerate so far. And this amalgamation of innocent cartoons and slasher trash has quite the rabbit hole. To name a few, there's The Mean One, where the same talent who plays Fart the Clown in the Terrifier movies plays a homicidal Grinch. We have Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, where an evil Peter Pan kidnaps Wendy's brother, and Tinkerbell has lost her way, mistaking the wacky smack for pixie dust. There's The Curse of Humpty Dumpty, Popeye the Slayer Man, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Cinderella's Curse, Easter Bunny Massacre, Cinderella's Revenge, and an evil Princess Fiona movie that I think it's all just the tip of the iceberg. And now I'm going to go looking for an iceberg chart of this. If there isn't one, I'm going to make one. All right, that just opened up a whole nother idea, didn't it? Thank you for joining me again. Please consider subscribing and supporting my channel through my Patreon or my affiliates. And see you next book and movie.